Sometimes we are convinced we have all the facts and we know what's what and we know the truth when in fact we don't have all the facts. And what we think we know, maybe we don't know so well. Hi, this is Barry Phillips, a 10-minute Torah, day 2 of Miqqetz, at the end. And as we say at the end, let's also realize that the things that we study in this Torah portion, especially in this Torah portion, may have some bearing on at the end of our days. Maybe we are living in the end of days. Let's go to Bereshit, or Genesis, chapter number 42, I believe. Yeah, chapter 42. And let's go down to verse number 5 that says, "And the sons of Israel went to buy grain among those who journeyed, for the scarcity of food was in the land of Canaan. And Joseph was governor over the land. He was the one who sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brothers came, bowed down before him with their faces to the earth." Here's a prophetic realization. Joseph saw his brothers and recognized them, but he acted as a stranger to them and spoke to them harshly and said to them, "Where do you come from?" And they said, "From the land of Canaan to buy food." So Joseph recognized his brothers, but they did not recognize him. And Joseph remembered the dreams which he had dreamed about them, and said to them, "You're spies, and you've come to see the nakedness of the land." Now, why? Why didn't Joseph jump up off of his throne and run to his brothers and embrace them and tell them who he was, and that he forgave them for all of this stuff in years past? Had he not suffered enough? Had he not been through enough processes of false accusations and issues to realize people make mistakes, and I need to let bygones be bygones? Well, he engages on a long, protracted testing of his brothers to see where their hearts are. But there may be more going on in his mind, and let's investigate a little bit of what Joseph may be thinking the facts are. Fact number 1. When he was 17, he was the star child in his father's eyes, who believed that he could do no wrong, and had been super promoting of Joseph, even giving him this coat of extravagant colors. But then his father turned on him and rebuked him for the second dream that he had, where the sun, moon, and stars bow down before him. And his father said, "You think I'm going to bow down to you, son?" Not long after that, it was Yaakov, his own father, who sent Joseph on a wild hunt for his brothers, starting off in Shechem. Remember Shechem? That's the place where the family's name was Mud. There's where he sent him, not a safe place for the family. And when he got there to look for them, his brothers were not there. Why did Daddy send me to look for my brothers where they're not at? Fact number 1, and it doesn't sound good. Let's look a little further at the facts. When he found his brothers, they were not happy to see him. Especially when he said, "Daddy sent me to find you." Didn't go over well. So they took off his coat and they dropped him in a pit. Come on, fellas, quit kidding around. And they're not kidding around. And it appeared then that they had left him there to die. From this point on, if we read the story correctly, he had not seen his brothers since they put him in the pit. They intended to go to the pit and pull him out. The Midianites pulled him out instead. When his brothers got there, he was gone. So the last act that he saw of his brothers is that they stole his coat and dropped him in a pit and left him. In his estimation, he would have died there. Now he had to be thinking, wait a minute. Let's balance this all out. Ishmael was rejected as the favored son, and he was sent away. Esau was also rejected, and he was left out. So maybe Joseph is thinking, between dad and my brothers, I have been voted out of the family. My own family, my father and my brothers have been plotting against me, all because I've had these incredible dreams, and I told them what I dreamed. So as far as Joseph is concerned, his facts are given credibility for the fact, and this is a fact, that no one has come looking for him for 22 years. 22. Now, I don't know how he thought anybody would know where he is at and how he got there. Maybe he thought his brothers sent the Midianites to pull him out of the pit. But nobody has crossed his path out of his family, sent a letter, a text, an email, or anything to him for 22 years. And as far as the facts in his mind go, I have been written off and cast out, and I am mud in my family's estimation. So if my family can go on without me, then I'm going to have to learn to go on without them. Two can play this game. With that being the case, he's left with the fact, okay, I have been abandoned, neglected, and forgotten. It is now up to me to forge my best path for me in this world, because I don't have any family to rely on, and they no longer play a role in my life. Now, let's turn the picture around a little bit and realize what has happened. Here is a fact. It was Pharaoh who pulled him out of prison when his family had put him in a pit. Who loves who? Pharaoh believed him concerning dreams. And when Joseph gives an interpretation of the dreams that Pharaoh has had, he instantly acts on them in a positive way. Here is a foreign ruler accepting him, believing him concerning dream life, and his own family laughed at him. His family rejected him over the dreams. Pharaoh called for a new robe and appointed him a great ruler in all of the land, only Pharaoh himself not being subject to him. So there Joseph stands in this splendid attire and a powerful ruler, the second most powerful ruler in the known world at that time. But his own family took his coat of significance away, and they laughed at him again when he talked about ever ruling over them. By the time the day was over, Pharaoh had given him a wife and a home so he could raise a family, while his own family, his own flesh and blood, were nowhere to be found. There are a lot of facts that Joseph was believing to be true. He had no idea of his father's grief. He had no idea of the misery that Yehudah is in. He has no idea about what's getting ready to transpire. You may think you know all the facts. It could be that you are factually inaccurate in something. How will we know? We go to him who is truth and ask for the truth, and then sometimes we have to be prepared for the shock that just maybe we had something wrong. something to think about. Definitely something to pray about. It's definitely something to continue talking about tomorrow. To the Shalom.